If one needs an indicator of how tension is rising across this region, then a build-up of military assets along the Syrian border should provide it. Turkish soldiers have been reinforcing their positions for the last 3 days. There is always a major presence here, but this is different. Convoys of trucks carrying tanks, armoured vehicles and rocket launchers are being deployed along huge lengths of the border. Ominously, chemical detoxification facilities and field hospitals are being erected in anticipation of a major exodus from Syria. Many fear government reprisals if the United States attacks. Far to the north in Lithuania, America's top diplomat is struggling to get consensus from European allies who favour restraint and UN involvement. John Kerry's informal talks are just part of his whistle-stop tour of Europe, outlining President Obama's reasoning for an attack on Bashar al-Assad's forces.
We cannot turn a blind eye to images like the ones we've seen out of Syria. Failing to respond to this outrageous attack would increase the risk that chemical weapons could be used again, that they would fall into the hands of terrorists who might use them against us.
In a further sign of mounting concerns in the Obama administration that it may have to go it alone and risk a violent backlash, non-emergency diplomatic staff have been withdrawn from the US Embassy in Beirut. American citizens are being warned to avoid Lebanon and southern Turkey. That village you can see behind me is inside Syria. It's right next to the border. There aren't many ordinary people there anymore, but it is a stronghold of the Free Syrian Army. I know, I have been there, and it is regularly attacked by the Syrian government, and missiles aimed for there have come across the border, have destroyed buildings and killed people inside Turkey. In part, it explains why Turkey is so anxious for the international community to take action against Syria. It wants regime change. It has huge problems with security and it has problems with refugees crossing over. And in spite of the threats of retaliation from Hezbollah and even from Russia itself, Turkey remains firmly behind the United States and President Obama. These people crossing borders seeking sanctuary abroad are hoping that America will attack. President Obama's word and his country's reputation are on the line. Next week's congressional vote has taken on a significance that genuinely and quite remarkably affects the whole world in general, but in particular these refugees. Stuart Ramsey, Sky News, on the Turkey-Syria border.